race fans to NAGP TV. Thursday night GT1 race series continues. I'm Jack Ivey on your broadcaster tonight. We are across the pond. We're in Spain tonight. Hope I don't massacre this, but at Jerez de la Frontera in Andalusia in Spain. And we're just starting the qualifying runs. Drivers are starting to take to the track. Bring you up to speed on a few things that happened last week. They were in Bahrain last week. And in Bahrain we had Andre Prado took home the win with Rich Roman and David Canavan filling out the podium there. And fourth was Canavan with Parsons, Jerez, Moses, Merriman, and McIntyre filling out the top 10. We got a couple of penalties this week. Andrew Werner was involved in contact, and Andres Cole. And if I'm not mistaken, they will have a no call for this week. David Pohl has also got into Moses later on in the race, and he has incurred a 20-kilogram penalty for that infraction. Just bring up the speed on the championship where we're sitting there now is Drivers' Championship. Rich Roman from 41 points, Kevin Surratt, second to 37, tied with Chris Moses. David Canavan is in fourth with 30. Poole with 28, along with Parsons with 28, Andre Prado with 24, Brad Mears with 22, Al Merriman with 16, and Juan Roy fills up top 10 with 12 points. Team championship is pretty interesting. Precision Motor Racing with 53, Anger Racing with 46, H&C with 42, and then tied with French Connection with Savoie and Weisman at 42. Elite Motor Racing at 36, and T Bam Bam at 34, and 05 Motorsports with 28 points. J&J Racing with 21, Solution F with 9, and rounding up the top 10 is Noram Racing with 7 points. A little bit of pre-race information here. We've got a really interesting track here tonight. I think everybody's going to enjoy it. It has got a total of 13 corners. It looks like it is fast. I haven't driven the track myself. I've been watching the drivers go around. It is going to be a test to see who can lay down the hot ones tonight. Out there on your screen is John Sportelli. In pre-race practice, we've had some speedy numbers. Sportelli has led the pack all the way along with David Canavan and Mr. Poole. In the 136s, Marty Uran, Andrew Werner, Chris Moses, Brad Mears, and Juan Monroy have been in the 137s. And the last thing we have to really chat about here is ballast. Who's carrying what tonight? David Canavan is carrying 40 pounds of ballast. I guess that'll be some success ballast. Andre Prado is carrying 88. More success ballast. Savoie is carrying 66, and Liquid Lou Mascarelli is carrying 88 pounds. That has got to be from getting into some wild and crazy action in the last race. Got a couple of drivers here. Felipe Triana, he's going to be driving the Lambo number 37. Lou Mascarelli has changed his car from the Corvette CR5 to the Pagani Zonda. Rodrigo Triana is in the Aston number 30, and Jaime Moore is in the Aston number 31. Back to the race action. John Sportelli out there with the early lead in qualifying. Let's just jump on the scoreboard for just a second. Just as I thought, 136, 336. Not quite as fast as he had down in the pre-race practice, but you can bet Sportelli's going to get that down. Rich Roman in the number 2 spot. Rich has looked really solid in practice, and 138 136.6. Juan Monroy in there with the 136, and Marty Red with the 136.669. Big Al Merriman, the boss, in P5 right now. And Lauren Weisman in the 136.758. Looks like we've got the top 10 drivers breaking the 137 into the 136 mark. Looks like we're going to have a total of 28 drivers here to start the race tonight. Let's get on the track and watch some of the drivers. Let's grab Mr. Parsons, racing out of Australia. He's coming through the start. Oh, he is into the pits. Andre Cole on the big back straight into the curve, a dry sack. Tough right-hander, almost 180 degrees before they go up into the left-hander. Corner number 7, real fast through there. A little bit of a straight, and this corner has been really hard to hold. It's going to play havoc on the tires coming around here. This corner number 8. Corner number 9, a tight right-hander. About a 100-degree corner here to a short little bit of a straight into the curve. Pelique. Down to turn 11. Turn 12. And head up for the big 180. Turn 13 before the straight at the start finish. As I said before, it's like a great fast tractor you're running. These guys are going to have a lot of fun tonight. Lots of passing opportunities here. A little bit of action there. Brad Maris coming out of the pits. Brad Maris driving the Ferrari 575, one half of the Anchor Racing team. Brad is one of our NAGP driving instructors. Anybody looking to get some extra help in improving their skills at sim racing, be sure to give Brad a PM and get him on board. He gave me a few tips early on when I first joined NAGP, and I have carried them through to today. And not that I'm that much improved, but I keep on remembering the tips you gave me, Brad. Thanks a lot. NAGP TV runs 3 series, or NAGP. In GTR2, we've got GTR2 class on Mondays, GTR1 on Thursdays, and the Champ Car series on Saturdays. Anybody who would like to grab a wheel of something fast and furious, get on out on Saturdays and give those cars a whirl. You will not be disappointed. They're super fast and super fun. Let's go on board now with Mr. Parsons. Looks like he's got his hands full there. Aaron Parsons driving the Viper, one half of the team, Bam Bam team. Our international drivers here in the series. He's driving out of Australia. A second off the lead pace. Savoie. 13 trying to get the power down early. Kevin Savoie driving the Nissan R35 on Michelin tires. He's one half of the French Connection team out of Allardville, New Brunswick. His hot lap. Real tight turn, have to get the power down as quick as possible. Up to P10, attaboy. Big Al Merriman, as we call him around here, the boss. Sitting in P12, coming around to finish his hot lap. All checked up there. Wanting to get on the next lap. Little flash lights to go around. So he does his sector split. Time, Al, but a half second off P1. Al is on a mission here. Let's jump on board. Not enough, still in P12. Let's go back to leaderboard. John Sportelli, 135.344 with Rich Roman right behind him at 135.372. These are at clear second, faster than their best practice times. We got as you can see, Sportelli, Rowan, and Monroy in the 135s. We got just over 10 minutes left in qualifying. Let's jump on board with Juan Monroy, follow him around and see if he can improve on his time. Setting himself up, get the power down, and away he is off for his hot lap. Let's jump right in car. One Monroy in car number 17 for GT1 on Michelin tires, one half of the J&J racing team. half a second off the leader's pace. I don't think this is going to be enough to improve his position. Coming up to the final turn, got a bit of traffic in front of him. That is not going to help you one. Marty Uren. Close out his lap. Boy, oh boy, is Marty pulling out all the stops on this one. Marty in the McLaren F1, car number 40, one half of NORAM Racing Team, racing out of California. P4 for Marty. About 8 minutes left. Let's go up and just scroll through here. On board with Liquid Lou Mascarelli. This is a new car for Lou tonight. Lou was driving the Corvette CR5 and he has switched over. He is going to take the Pagani Zonda. Lou is one half of Team WFO, racing out of Bellingham, Massachusetts. Sitting in P24. Hasn't had a lot of practice in this car. I know he will get a lot quicker as the season progresses. And let's see how he does. Lou sits in P24. Greg Myers in the number 27 Viper on Michelin tires. The back half of Aaron Parsons' team of T. Brook Bam Bam. Let's stick with Gregory and see if he can improve on his position here. Gregory might not be one of the best qualifiers in the league, but boy oh boy, this guy can drive a solid race. Watch for him to climb his way up through the field, especially in this hour-and-a-half format. I think this really plays into a driver of Greg's caliber's hands. He is smooth, he drives the line, and he just is very consistent and drives his way up into the top of the pack. I see it every Monday and every Thursday. No improvement for Greg. Chris Moses sitting in P4. Chris on the red lap. Barely missed the tires. She'll be able to get back on. Just an out lap, so no harm, no foul. Chris Moses in the number 25 Lambo on Michelin tires, one half of the Precision Motorsports, racing out of Toledo, Ohio. My hat's off here to Chris Moses and Al Merriman. They do a great job in facilitating and administrating the league for us. Don't know what we do without these guys here. Just do a great job. Kudos to both these. Let's jump on board. still have time, Chris. You just have time. Get out there. You will get time for your out lap and a hot lap. David Canavan. Off the pace here. But David is going to hang out there and do one more lap. Final bend, the 180. Still a P6 for David. Out again. Going to be, oh, and there is a gaggle of cars going out there for their last chance to qualify. And Canavan is giving them the flashing lights, giving them all hell. All a bit of space there, and that's exactly what they're trying to do, space themselves out. A lot of strategy going in here as they try to get them set up for one last dash. That looks like Sportelli out there behind Canavan. Moses starting his hot lap. This will be his final hot lap. Lots of clear track there, Chris. Not as quick at first sector as he had in the last time. He's a little off there. Might be enough to pull him up. Canavan starts his. And similarly, Canavan is just slightly off pole pace. Chris Moses puts it in the wall. That's going to end his last chance at trying to increase his position. Rich Roman in P2 trying to better his time along with John Sportelli. Sportelli has got that car cranked tonight. John is driving the McLaren F1, car number 38 on Michelin tires. He is one half of Rolf Sport, and he is driving out of Liverpool, New York, and he has parked the car. Rich Roman into the wall. Canavan into the pits. Lauren Weisman, P10. Off the track. Well, let's go back to the leaderboard. That is pretty much the way it's going to end up. We've only got Andre Cole and Marco Cani. Marco Cani is the last one on track there, and he is going to stay in P20. Well, there you have it, folks. Qualifying has finished. And let's run down the lineup. John Sportelli. No surprise there. He was the quickest car in practice. Looks like he's got it together. but we will wait and see if he can keep it together for an hour and a half. Rich Roman in P2. Juan Monroy in P3. Chris Moses in P4. Marty Uran in P5. David Canavan in P6. David Poole in P7. Brad Maris in 8. Solberger, Cole, and Preto 9, 10, and 11. Lauren Weisman in 12. Kevin Savoie in 13th. Aaron Parsons 14. Merriman, Hamilton, and Montgomery 15, 16, 17. John Wathen 18. Sam Rolfe 19. Marco Conti in 20th. Jaime Moore in 21st. Gup Douglas, Chuck Carter, and Lou Mascarelli 22, 23, 24. Gregory Myers in 25. And we did have the penalties. We've got Werner. I thought Andre Cole was going to have a no call, but for some reason I must have been mistaken. Wasn't quite clear on the penalty page in the preview of the race there. I didn't get a chance to talk to the administrators. But we've got Andrew Werner, Rodrigo Triana, and Felipe Triana, 26, 27, 28, and that fills out the field. They're just finishing the qualifying 2 session, and we're going to get ready for NAGP GT1 Thursday night race. Grab something to drink, sit back, get ready to take in all the action. As we're waiting, the drivers will be getting their instructions from the race director, Chris Moses, on what he expects from the drivers. We've got a short little warm-up coming up, and that'll be off onto the grid for 1.5 hours. Again, we're racing in Spain tonight at Jerez. We're going to go 56 laps. There is a 10% cut rule in effect. The track is approximately 2.79 miles long. Good opportunity for these guys to go out and get familiar with the pit entrance and exit. Make sure they've got that down, as pit stops play a big part of this series. A lot of these races are won and lost in the pit cycle. Here's a good look at Rich Roman. Rich is driving the Maserati MC12, car number 1 on Michelin tires, 1/2 of Agency Racing. Rich is racing out of Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. Real tight corner coming in there into the pits. Always a concern here with these top drivers at NAGP. They enter so quickly, you have to get on the brakes so fast. Oh boy, we've got a little bit of contact there out on the track. If you could see that, that was exciting to say the least. Juan practicing and starting. On Michelin tires, 1/2 of 05 Motorsport, and David's racing out of Woodstock, Georgia. Set now, got a few minutes and we'll be going live for Thursday night NAGP GT1 series. Hey Steve, what happened? You're not racing tonight? I see you got your popcorn and beer. That's good. We're all set here for an hour and a half of racing. Track looks good, the camera angles look good, so we'll try not to make a mess of it. Glad to have you along, Steve. Well, hey, thanks for the heads up there. I'll try to make sure I'm loud enough that you guys can hear me. I was sure my sound was up, but in race we have a hard time raising the levels here, so I'll try to speak directly into my microphone so that you can hear. And we're switching over. Race time, 2 minutes to race. Who is going to get the whole shot tonight. Thanks guys for the heads up. We'll try and give you some interesting NAGP GT1 racing tonight. A lot of back and forthing in there. Seconds. Ready to go here. Hang on to your helmets. And they're off. That's Martelli. Looked like he saw that. Roman on the outside. Canavan 6. Brad Maris looking on the outside. And it looks fairly clean as we scroll through the pack. There is one pile of cars out there tonight. Too wide into the corner. Sportelli is still out in front. And I don't know if he's going to be able to hang on to this pace or not. Monroy in second. Marty ran hot on his tail. Along with Rich Roman. Marty having a look on the inside. Boy, the racing is tight this early on. And they're going to have to keep it close. They sure don't want to let Sportelli go too far out in front. And he is already stretching it out a little bit there. Juan with Marty right in behind him. Roman behind him. Chris Mose is up to 5. Canavan in P6. David Poole in P7, Weisman in 8, Solberger 9, and top 10, Andre Prado. Big Al in 11. They are still all bunched up together. Jaime Moore up to P12. And Aaron Parsons in behind him. Aaron in the Viper. Looks like he got a good run in that corner. Is all over the back of Jaime. Marco Conti up to 14th. Sam Rolfe in a solid paying position of 15. Douglas up to P16. Brad Maris in P17. Christian Hamilton 18. Werner 19. Andre Cole 20. John Wathen in 21. Kevin Savoy back in 22. Greg Myers in 23. Salem Montgomery Jr. in 24. Followed by Chuck Carter and Philippe Triana. Rodrigo Triana in 27 and Lou Mascarelli in 28. Back up front, position doesn't look like it's changed much. Looks like we've got John Sportelli and Juan Monroy, Marty Uran and Rich Roman, Chris Moses and David Canavan, top of the top 6 drivers. Steve, I see you got some money riding on Marty tonight, and that's a solid bet. I thought Marty looked really impressive in practices last night and earlier before the race today, so not a bad bet there at all. Parsons all over the back of Jaime Moore. Aston versus Viper. Let's jump right on board with Mr. Parsons. Aaron looked like he was struggling earlier in qualifying. Boy, this guy can drive the wheels just about any car. Got a little bit of damage going up and cars off the track. Oh, and they're too wide there. Solberger off the track. Boy, oh boy, we've got a lot of positions changing here, folks. Douglas is all the way up to 13. Sam Rolfe up to 12. Marco Conti up to 11. Hunter Trado into 10. Big Al Merriman in P9. Jaime Moore got through that, sort of unscathed in 8th, but Aaron Parsons got through that and took over the P7 position. We can look for Aaron to stretch this lead out here over top of Jaime Moore now that he's gotten by him. In behind, we've got Jaime Moore and Al Merriman side by side, and Prado jumping there, all 3 of them in tight together. Too wide, and Jaime Moore takes a check, and he is gone off into the kitty litter. Big Al Merriman takes a check, and off into the kitty litter he goes. There's more cars too wide. Holy jumping, the action is fast. There are cars all over the place. My goodness. Holy jumping. The CC committee is going to have tons to look at this. Oh, we've got another car off. My goodness gracious. It's going to be hard keeping track of what's going on here, folks. Sportelli has dropped to P20. Obviously got caught up in some of that trouble. My goodness, it's just quite the action going on here. Sorry, we usually have a co-host here and we can keep a good look on the action here. Not totally surprised to see Sportelli off. Sportelli drives these things right on the edge. And there you go, Steve. Marty Ured, P1. Got Rich Roman all over the back. Chris Mosley moved up to P3. And David Canavan in behind him. Marty Uren out in front. Marty, one half of the NORAM racing team, driving the McLaren F1. Marty is our senior statesman. He's one of the old. Chris Moses off the track, and he is going to be hard-pressed to keep that position. He has given that up to David Canavan. David Canavan has taken P3 away from Chris Moses. Chris looked like he was driving that car a little loose. Roman not letting Marty run away, and this is absolutely what these top two drivers want to see, is Canavan and Moses getting in a little tussle back there, and allow them to stretch this out a little bit. That last left hand, really hard to get around there and get the power down in there. Now, thanks for the heads up there, Steve. If Rich has got his if Marty's got his car set up for hot track, that will definitely work in his favor. And you can see they are. Rich Roman, Marty Uren, pulling away from the field. And actually Canavan is doing a good job in keeping clear of Chris Moses. David Poole got Moses in sight. And Lauren Weisman in that Nissan. And Lauren can sure get that thing rolling. I've never been able to get that car moving at all. Aaron Parsons up into P7. Clear track for Aaron, and that's exactly the way he likes it. He can really get those cars wound up when he's got some clear track. Brad Maris into P8. Sam Rolfe in P9. What a great drive for Sam if he can hang on to this. Marco Conti up to P10. Jaime Moore in P11. And Jaime's got Christian Hamilton all over the back of him and Andre Prado behind him. And this is going to be interesting. Let's jump on board here with Andre Prado. Christian Hamilton always gives him a love tap. Away they go. Prado, Hamilton, and Jaime Moore. 11, 12, 13. Let's see how they spread this one out. And Prado has just passed by Sportelli, who is on a charge. Sportelli, who had set the pole time in the fast laps here earlier on and got sent just about to the back of the pack, has made his way back up to 13th. There is a gaggle of cars there. Holy jumping. Looks like Jaime Moore is taking a little wide and has spun the car. Oh boy, this could be this is a bad spot. Looks like he's staying off track, which is good. And got a clean rejoin. Looks like Salem had to check up there. He missed that action. Cup Douglas running 20. Jaime Moore back to 19th. Watson in 18th. Andrew Werner in the 17th. Solberger 16. Al Merriman in 15th. Kevin Savoie up to 14th. Prado in 13th. Sportelli now up to 12th. Oh boy, close action there. Let's jump on board with Sportelli. He is on a tear. He is picking up positions wide enough. That position away. Oh, and a couple of the cars are messed up. Andre Prado, Christian Hamilton in a big tangle up. There, we've got a few cars off the track. Boy, oh boy, they are not going to be happy. Christian Hamilton's car is all bent up there. He's got right side panel damage on the right door, driver's door. He's down to P14. The instant page is going to be full for next week's race. Hamilton, Solberger, Al Merriman. Al having a look on the outside. He's got it a little wide though, coming in. It's left the door open for Werner. Lots of action back here in the middle of the pack. Andre Prado up to 13. Savoie 12th. Marco Conti, oh, having trouble there on that corner. That should allow Savoie to get up to some speed. Get a jump on him. And it has Savoie now up pressuring Marco Conti to get on the inside. Little burst of speed there from Conti. Hold that position off. Tries it on the braking. Lots of good opportunity on this track for passing. Conti, Savoie, Prado, Hamilton, Solberger, Merriman, Werner, all in tight together. Going to quickly jump over the leaderboard and let's see how the spacing is going. Still in tight. Marty Ured in first with David Canavan taking over P2, 2 seconds behind. Rich Roman falling a little back at 4.7 seconds. And another second separating him and Chris Moses. A few seconds to David Poole and another few seconds to Lauren Beisman. Aaron Parsons 14 seconds off the leader. Brad Maris is 18 seconds off the leader, and then a gap back to Sam Rolfe in P9. Sam Rolfe getting pressured by Sportelli. contact there. Sportelli ran into the back half of that other McLaren. And that is his teammate. Obviously, no team orders there, folks. Coming up to some lap traffic there. That is a Liquid Lou Mascarelli. He is in a Rolf Sport sandwich between two McLarens. Sportelli looking on the inside. And Mascarelli tucks in behind Sportelli. Let's see if he can try this one again. Hey, Paul Hall, nice for you to join us. Glad to see you're here. Sportelli up behind Sam Rolfe again. And I would gotta hope that Sam is going to let Sportelli by. Sam's driving a hell of a race and good on him. But holy jumping. And Sportelli gets the run through. And you can bet Sportelli is on a mission here. Still got lots of racing to go. And he's already up to P9. He was down as far as P22 at one point. Hey, glad to see you guys out here watching this broadcast. It gets pretty lonely up here sometimes. Anytime you guys want to join in the broadcast, just give me a PM. Aaron Parsons up to P7. Poole at P6, Weisman at P5, Chris Moses slipped back to P4 now, Rich Roman in P3, Canavan up to P2, and there's your race leader, Marty Uren. Boy, these top drivers, I think they can drive anything, take them right to the top. Marty is instrumental in our Saturday series in getting the Champ Cars package all put together and on a track. If you guys are interested and want to get hold of a wickedly fast and fun afternoon, get hold of Marty Uren or one of the guys that raced in the Champ Car series and give them a call. Well, let's run down the field and give everybody a little bit of airtime here. P1, Marty Uren. David Canavan, racing out of Ireland, in P2. Rich Roman, P3. Chris Moses, P4. Lauren Weisman in the Nissan, P5. David Poole in the Koenigsegg. Aaron Parsons up to P7. And I would say, watch yourself, David Poole. Aaron Parsons will be pressing you shortly. Brad Maris into P8. Sportelli in P9. Looking to close the gap, and he probably will. He has pace on this whole field. Sam Rolfe, P10, Kevin Savoy, P11, one half of the French Connection. Al Merriman, the boss, P12, Mark Conti at P13, Christian Hamilton, P14, Andrew Werner in P15, Solberger, 16. These guys are spacing themselves out now. They've been fighting since the drop of the hat. Andre Cole in 17. Jaime Moore down to 18. Had some bumping and grinding and off-track incidents. He's got Douglas in on his tail. Salem Montgomery Jr., P20, followed by Felipe Triana in P21, and Gregory Myers shouldering along in P22. I'm not sure if Greg's real happy in that Viper. We all know his teammate loves him. Rodrigo Triana in P23. Triana brothers are racing out of Bogota, Colombia. One's driving the Lambo, number 37, and Rodrigo is in the Aston, number 30. Chuck Carter in P24. Andre Prado in the pits. And back up front, P1, Marty. Just going to jump over the leaderboard. We'll see where we are lap-wise. We're on lap 14. We're scheduled for 56. Canavan closing down on Marty. The Irishman driving number 32, Aston Martin. One half of Elite Motorsports driving out of North Ireland. cat and mouse game continues. Well, we'll leave these two for a little bit. Let's move on back and see what's going on. We've got Rich Roman and Chris Moses, 3-4. Lauren Weisman in P5. Lauren coming up with some lap traffic. Lauren on the outside there. Aaron Parsons up to P6. Got around David Poole. And David now has Brad Myers all over his tail. On board, Brad Myers. Brad driving the number 21 Ferrari 575, one heavy racing on Michelin tires. Chasing down the cul-de-sac. And it looks like we've got a driver into the pits. Continues to hound David Poole. John Sportelli up to P9. Boy, oh boy, for John to make that charge like he has, his tires must be suffering in a big way. John all by himself, lots of open track, but I don't know if he's going to have the tires to keep up the pace. Sam Rolfe, teammate, hanging on to P10. But Big Al Merriman, the boss, is hunting him down. Andrew Werner in P12, followed by Andre Cole. Andre Cole in the Maserati MC12. And it looks like Andre has got all sorts of damage up the front end of that. Yes, the front end of that Maserati is all beat up, and that is not well with his handling. Kevin Savoy off-roading it in P14. Marco Conti back to P15. And Jaime Moore in P16. Solberger all over the back of Jaime Moore. We're going to sit right here and watch this action for a little bit. Gup Douglas has joined that hunt. There is 4 of them. 14 through 18. Conti, Jaime Moore, Solberger, Douglas. This is some great action here. Well, this just goes to point out that there is great racing all the way through the field here, folks. So you don't need to be a podium finisher to enjoy racing here at NAGP. So like I said, you want to join us? Saturday League's got lots of space for people, and everybody there is more than willing to help out and get the car started. Gup Douglas with a little bit of a wobble there. He's able to hang on to it. Jaime Moore, battered door. Solberger way wide on that corner. And and that's allowed Gup Douglas to get up alongside him. Couldn't quite pull the trigger on that one, but he is all over the back of Solberger. On board with Gup Douglas. We've got a spun car there on the straightaway. Boy, oh boy, that car is a wreck. Let's just see if we can pick up and see who that is. That is Kevin Savoy. That car is absolutely a mess. He is missing the front end. He has got it going again, but he has got to go all the way around the track to get back into the pits, and it looks like he might be suffering from a flat. This is going to be quite the accomplishment. It looks like a left front flat, and it is. Boy, oh boy, it's going to be tough for him to stay out of the way. And it looks like he is trying to do just that. And that is hard to do on a flat tire. Well, Kevin, I hope you can make... and Kevin has retired that car. Andre Prado back into P24. Back up front, Marty Urin and Canavan, 1-2. A little bit of a gap there. Just going to jump over the leaderboard and check out the gaps, see where we are. Marty and David, 8-100 separating them, but quite a gap between Moses, and then Moses put a bit of a gap on Rich Rogan as well. Weisman and Parsons. Parsons up in P6, and it looks like he is pressing. And let's join that action. Parsons all over the back. Let's get on board here. Parsons in the big Viper. If anyone's got the patience to wait for an opening, it's going to be Aaron Parsons. David Poole, P7. Brad Maris and John Sportelli. Like Maris and Prado running behind each other, but unfortunately Prado is way off the pace. Had his hands full tonight. Not his night. Brad Maris bearing down on David Poole. On board with Brad Maris. Sportelli, P9, soldiering on. Sam Rolfe in P10. Sam hanging on to that P10 spot. That's a great drive by Sam Rolfe. Big Al Merriman trying to close that gap there. Into the final turn before the straightaway, and Al is in tight, and if he can get the power down, he might be able to grab a draft. Good defensive driving by Sam. Taking the preferred line away from Big Al. Good alerts there, and that is open the door. But Sam is hanging on to it. This is great stuff. Big Al on the inside, looks like he's got him. And it is a out-and-out dogfight we've got going here between Sam Rolfe and Big Al Merriman. Big Al down on the inside, going to try and outbrake him, and he does. And he has got that position. Good on you, Sam. I'd hate to have Big Al over the back of me as well. Sam Rolfe slips down to P11. Hang on to your helmet, Sam. You got Andrew Werner coming up behind you in P12. Andre Cole in P13, Solberger in 14, and Jaime Moore in P15 in the banged up 31 Aston. Gup Douglas hanging on to P16. You know he wants to take that spot away from Jaime. Gregory Myers up to P17. Just like I thought. This guy is just Mr. Steady. Drives the line, drives his race, and drives his way to the front of the pack. Mark O'Connie has slipped back to P18. Felipe Triana in the P19. And Christian Hamilton down to P20. Rodrigo Triana up to P21 and all over the back of Christian Hamilton. I'm sorry, he's some lap traffic. Salem Montgomery Jr. in the Ford GT is currently in P22. Andre Prado back in P23. And that is the field. Canavan still pressing. Marty Urin. We should be getting up to pit cycle rotation shortly. Lap 26. We're going to look for those just about any time now. Al, Sam, and Andrew Werner in tight together, along with Jaime Moore and Gup Douglas. And that's where the racing is right now. Thomas in the Ferrari 550, car number 35. 1/2 a Solution F Racing. And Gregory Myers in P16. Hang on, Gup. Greg is charging along. Hey, Ian, good to see you here tonight, buddy. Thanks for joining the broadcast. It's always nice to see some of the NAGP guys. Oh, playing hockey, were you? Well, that's a good Canadian thing to be doing. Marco Conti in P17. Felipe Triani in P18. And into the pits, Rodrigo Triana. P22, Salem Montgomery Jr. Andre Prado in 23. Wathen in 24. Marty Uren, your race leader, coming up to lap traffic. And let's see if Marty is going to take the pit this time around. On the leaderboard there, guys, so you can take a look. We're in lap 27. This should go 56. So we are looking at some guys in the pits. It looks like Sportelli is in pits. Maris is in the pits. Cole, Douglas, Merriman, and Triani in the pits. Not surprised with Sportelli. He's going to have to pit a couple laps early. He has pushed his way up to the front. Marty in the pits. We have got a lot of action in there. And let's see how it goes. We've got Rich Roman in the pits. Marty in the pits. Lauren Weisman in the pits. Sam Rawls was stayed out. Rich Roman. Oh. That was very messy. Solberg stayed out, currently in P1. Canavan, currently in P2. We're going to have to see how this works out for them. Parsons stayed out, P3. Marty is out on the track in P4. Yep, a lot of action there in the pits. Look pretty tight in there. Jaime Moore up to P5. They have yet to pit though. Lauren Weisman, P6. Poland 7. Poland in 8. Maris 9. Moses in 10. Sportelli. He's pitted. He's 11th. Let's watch him. He's going to be dangerous for the rest of this race. You bet he's on a tear. He's the fastest guy out there right now. looks this is a one-stop race, and these guys cut it so close. I'm not going to be surprised if we watch one or two of them run out of fuel at the end. Moses in P10. Bull in the pits. Roman coming up to some lap traffic. That looks like Jaime Moore. And they're actually racing for position, folks. That's Jaime Moore currently in P5. Onto that spot in front of Rich Roman, but you gotta believe he is holding Rich Roman up. Not trying to take anything away from Jaime, but and Brad Maris is trying to get in the action. Roman on the inside there. Jaime hangs on to that position though. We've got a lot of close action here. There's going to be some paint going around here before long. Roman on the inside of Jaime Moore, but Jaime Moore's got the inside track on the next corner, and Roman just can't get by and close the door on this guy. Coming up to some lap traffic. Whoa, Jaime Moore down on the inside. Oh, and we've got bumping and grinding going on there. I don't think Rich is wanting to give up anything to this guy. Brad Maris going on by. Too wide now. And there, they have contact. Roman has got contact. And that's put Jaime Moore off. Jaime is stuck. He is stuck in. Oh man, I'm feeling for you. He has got it moving, but he is going to have nothing left of his tires there. And cars under speed coming in behind him. Boy, you can bet he is not going to be happy about that. Chris Moses in P8, Sportelli in P7. This guy is on a mission tonight, folks. Roman, Maris, side by side. Maris on the outside, Roman on the inside. On board, Brad Maris. Chasing down Rich Roman. Got quite a battle going on here. Like Roman has been able to give himself just a tiny bit of breathing space, but we're coming up onto some traffic, and this is always going to make things interesting. Let's just make our way back up to the front and see how things have shaked out. We've got P4, Lauren Weisman, Marty Uren in P3, Aaron Parsons in P2. I do not know if Aaron is actually pitted yet. And Canavan in the P1. Looks like Jaime Moore is into the pits, get some repairs after that off incident. and Aaron Parsons in P2. The Australian chasing down the Irishman. Marty Uren, P3. Lauren Weisman, P4. Rich Roman. Looks like he's going inside of Conti, and around comes Brad Maris, and I don't think Marco Conti is going to give the same consideration. He does, and he lets Brad Maris through to keep the fight on with Rich Roman. John Sportelli into P7. Chris Moses in P8. David Poole in P9. Looks like David's got lots of wide open road, nobody pressing him, nobody in front. Big Al Merriman in P10. Andrew Werner, P11. Solberger in the Ford GT in P12. Sam Rolfe has slipped back to P13. Still driving a hell of a great race, up as high as 10th. Actually up as high as 9th. Gup Douglas in the points at P14. Gregory Myers, P15. Salem Montgomery Jr. in the final paying position of P16. And good racing, Salem. Salem's another one of our newer drivers. Andre Cole, P17. Marco Conti has slipped back to P18. Christian Hamilton soldiering along at P19 with Jaime Moore back out after his off-track incident there. Got a little bit of a hip check. I don't know if he's going to feel real great about that one, but we'll leave that up to the CC committee. Felipe Triani in P21, and Andre Prado all over the back of him. Let's jump on board with Andre and see how he handles Felipe. Back up front, there's your race leader, David Canavan. Boy, we got some great camera angles at this track, folks. If we had a better camera operator, we'd have a much better race. Canavan coming up on some lap traffic. Jump over the leaderboard. Oh, we've got Aaron Parsons in behind him. This lap traffic might play into it. They're only separated by 1.5 or 2 seconds. Parsons a little wide on that last corner, grabbed a bit of gravel. Marty Uren in P3. And like I said, I'm just going to jump to the leaderboard here. We've got Canavan 3 seconds on top of Parsons, 9 seconds over Marty. Another 6 seconds back of Marty is Lauren Weisman. And 6 seconds back of him is Rich Roman. Another 4 seconds to Brad Maris. And a few seconds to Sportelli. Chris Moses, 31 seconds off the leader. And P10, Al Merriman, just over a minute off the leader. So these guys are really taking the race away. Jump up with Brad Maris. In P6, and in behind him we've got Sportelli. Roman, Maris, Sportelli. 5, 6, 7. There they are. Boy, John started this off the pole. Had some early race mishaps. Put him way back, down as far as I think 22nd, 23rd, and has clawed his way back up to P7. Heck of a drive. Chris Moses, P8. David Poole, P9. In the Lambo on Michelin tires. One half of Precision Motorsports. Sam Rolfe hanging on to P13. Gup Douglas in P14. Salem Montgomery in P15. And Gregory Myers up into the points, P16. Let's take a look at Greg's car. Looks like he might have a little bit of damage there. He does. He's got a bash in the side of his car. Left side of his car is bashed in. On the outside there, he has dropped a spot. And we go over, under, and away goes Gregory. Greg and Andre swapping spots. Both of those cars, the Maserati and the Viper, both made up. This is some great racing here. Andre probably looking to do the old tight on the inside again. Let's go on board with the Maserati. Having a look on the inside. In tight behind him. He might be enough for a draft here. With the power of that fight, he's going that gap again going down the straight. And we've got a car off. So Salem Montgomery trying to get this guy off. Didn't seem to affect. Myers on pole. got Marty Uren in P3 coming up to this battle between Cole and Myers. They're going to get blue flag. They're going to have to let him through. But boy, oh boy, they sure don't seem to be giving him any courtesy at all. Andre Cole taking it to Marty Uren. I'm a little suspect about what's going on out there, but then again, that's just my opinion. Cole's got to ease up, even though he doesn't want to let Myers get away from him, but he's got to ease up and let Marty through. Cole into Marty Uren. Oh, I cannot believe this. Boy, oh boy, he is going to be one ticked off competitor there. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. These guys continue to get themselves into little bits of trouble here. Back out. P2, Aaron Parsons is hunting down David Canavan for the lead of this race in late. Yeah, I see that, Steve. See your comments up there. I don't think that was... I can usually get myself into trouble, but it doesn't matter. What are they going to do? Fire me? I'm the only broadcaster up here? I think that was just absolute disrespect out there on that track, folks. That's all I can say about that, and I hope the CC straightens that one out. I spent 3 seasons just trying to get out everybody's way. This guy had plenty of opportunities up on the throttle and let him through. And he would have got that advantage back again because Greg Myers would have had to have done the same thing. But there you are. There's your race leader, David Canavan. Douglas lets Canavan through. Douglas a real gentleman out there, and Canavan as well. A little dip of the lights. And you can bet he is going to do the same courtesy for Mr. Parsons to keep everything even. And that's the way we should be passing in NAGP racing. So for you guys who aren't racing with us every week, we do see this kind of action, but we don't condone it. Canavan, Parsons, 1-2. And let's just jump over the leaderboard. I just want to take a quick look here and make sure that Marty hasn't given anything up. He has. That has caused Marty, and Marty now has Lauren Weisman in tight behind him. I'm going to stay on here with Marty. I am feeling for this guy. And he is back up to Andre Cole, and boy, oh boy, now this is a story that we're going to stick with for and oh boy, Weisman has just knocked Salem Montgomery right off the track. Settle down out there, you guys. Holy jumping. Don't need to wreck somebody else's race. Thank you, Mr. Cole. And that's the way he should have done it the last time around. Now we've got Lauren Weisman giving Andre Cole the light. But a little far back. Giving him the heads up, though, that I am coming through. board with Lauren Weisman. Let's just take a look and see how he makes it through. As he hunts the last podium position down. Great opportunity here for Andre just to ease up and let him open. And that's exactly what he did. Thank you, Mr. Cole. And he has spun his car. I don't know if that was Andre, but one half of that team has spun the car. That was Andre Cole spinning his car. Salem Montgomery Jr., who got knocked off the track in that last foray, is now back up behind Andre Cole. Christian Hamilton down to P18. Marco Conti all the way back to P19. Has been able to get that Celine rolling tonight. Jaime Moore down to P20. Canavan back out in front. Your leader. And directly in behind him, oh, Marty. Marty in a little off there. Marty in around Gregory Myers and Lauren Weisman. Greg Myers in between the two cars. Greg has moved over and let Weisman through. Boy, all the trouble Marty had there with that lapping car has let Lauren Weisman get all over his tailpipe. On board, Lauren Weisman. Podium race going on here. All over the back of Weisman. And Sportelli up to P6. No problem for Sportelli. He has got Gregory Myers in there. Gregory Myers holds out wide. A perfect example of letting the driver go through. And a perfect example of letting the driver through, grabbing onto the back of their bumper, grabbing a draft down the straightaway and hanging in with them. Good on you, Greg. Super clean driver to be out there racing against. Hey, Krishnik, nice to see you join us here. P7, Brad Myers. P8, Chris Moses. Chris coming up to Salem Montgomery Jr. Salem, the dip of the lights, and Chris is taking the outside. Oh, Salem a little off there. Didn't need to go that wide. David Poole in P9. Werner in 10. Solberger 11. Al Merriman in 12. Sam Rolfe hanging on to P13. Go Sam, go. Cup Douglas up to P14. Gregory Myers in P15 hanging on to the points, even though he has let these drivers come clean through. It actually hasn't cost him. Andre Cole back to P16. Salem Montgomery, 1 out of the points in 17. Hang on, Salem. Points are still in your sight. Christian Hamilton in P18 and Mark O'Connie back to P19. Jaime Moore in 20. That is the last of them running. Back up front, we've got Canavan. In behind, we have got Aaron Parsons. Just going to jump over the leaderboard just a sec here. Let's grab some of the laps. Lap 45. We've got about 10 laps left of this. Canavan, 2 seconds out in front of Parsons. Marty Urin and Rich Roman and Brad Maris. 17-second, 18:23. Maris, Weisman, and Sportelli in the Honda. Let's get on board with Sportelli. John Sportelli in the number 38 McLaren F1 on Michelin's. Heck of a drive from Sportelli tonight. He's picked up 15 spots after an early race incident. Spun car, I think that's Greg Myers. I hope that's Greg Myers. Sure don't want to see our number 2 spot. Yes, Greg Myers in the spin there, in the Viper. Parsons in the hunt. And Parsons off the track, grabbing some gravel there. That's going to cost him some time. Salem hanging it out wide. Attaboy Salem. That's going to cost Parsons a little bit of time there. You can still see Canavan out there, but boy, oh boy, that Canavan is a cagey fella. You can bet he's watching his XD to see exactly where Parsons is, and he'll be able to see that gap spread out just a little bit. Marty hanging on to P3 with Rich Roman, and behind him in P4. Rich has been able to take advantage of closing up on that gap. Brad Maris in P5, Moses in P6, and Lauren Weisman in P7. Sportelli coming on strong. John Sportelli. Nissan as Sportelli closing that gap up. using the curbing well. If he can hang on to this and get in tight off that last corner, he might be able to catch himself a bit of a draft. And cook the tires, but getting the power down is all what it's about here. And Nissan seems to have a lot of grunt down that straightaway. Sportelli really working those brakes. Contact there. We can see the back end of that Nissan has got a bit of a dimple in the rear bumper of that one. Sportelli not giving up though. Sportelli trying it again. Hanging in tight on the back of this. This is some great action, folks. John Sportelli and Lauren Weisman. This guy. He is having a good look here. Having a look on the inside. And oh, too wide in the corner. And John has got it. Weisman not going to let this go unanswered, I don't think. Or does he have anything left in the tank? You drivers out there, you guys know how tiring this can be to be holding somebody off that many laps. But it sure looks like Sportelli has got a little bit of pace on him and is opening up the gap. And Nissan has got power down this straight. Not enough. P8. Lauren Weisman, Sportelli, Chris Moses, Brad Maris, Rich Roman. And Rich Roman all over the back of Marty Uren and been there for quite a while. McLaren versus Maserati. P2, Aaron Parsons. And your race leader, about a straightaway away, is David Canavan. Canavan has raced a great race here. Got himself out in front through the pit rotations and hasn't looked back. Aaron Parsons doing a fabulous job of racing his way up through the field to get into P2. Canavan with his lights on, and deservedly so, your race leader. P2, Aaron Parsons, Marty Uran, and Rich Roman battling it out for the final podium position. Brad Maris in P5, Chris Moses in P6, Sportelli in 7. Lauren Weisman has put it off the track. He might have just cooked his tires from that battle there with Sportelli. David Poole in the Koenigsegg, P9. Teammate Andrew Werner, P10. Solberger in 11th. Merriman in P12. Sam Rolfe hanging on to P13. Gup Douglas in the money in P14. Andres Cole in P15. Gregory Myers in the points, P16. Christian Hamilton, one off at P17, and Jaime Moore at P18. Mark O'Connie in P19. And Sam Montgomery Jr. in P20. Canavan out with the litter, back to the other side. Looks like Canavan is having all sorts of handling issues there. Let's go on board. Absolutely. I would say David is having tire issues. I don't see any damage on his car, but he is definitely struggling at this point. I'm just going to jump over the leaderboard quick and take a look and see. He has got Parsons 8 seconds behind. We're on lap 52. He is going to have to hang in there for a few more laps. We're going to go back and stay with David Canavan and see how this transpires. He is struggling here, folks. This could be a nail-biter down to the end. Did Canavan double stint his tires? I would say yes. And you're right, Ian. He's going to have to watch those cuts, but again, you know how this NHGP thing works. I mean, if he's not under power, they might not even consider that a cut. But he is definitely struggling to keep that car on the track. That being said, he's still coming up on lap traffic. Boy, it's almost scary to watch this guy go around the track. He's having so much trouble. Parsons being held up by Connie. Boy, oh boy. That's not what Aaron wants to see in this stage of the game. Canavan. Whoa. Well, looks like that's it. Canavan's your winner. And just hanging on to it. Parsons in second. Marty hangs on to third. Maris in fourth. Roman in fifth. Moses in sixth. John Sportelli, heck of a race there. P7, way to go, John. Lauren Weisman, boy oh boy, put the fight on there with Sportelli, bringing her home in P8. David Poole, P9, and should be right behind him. Yes, Andrew Warner should close that out. P10. John Solberger, P11. Al Merriman, the boss, P12. Rolfe in 13th, Cole in 14th, Myers in 15th, Douglas in the points in 16th, Christian Hamilton in 17th. Jaime Moore 18th, Marco Conti 19th, and Sel Montgomery Jr. should finish out. Oh, and there they are. They're duking it out there on the track. There's your race winner, David Canavan. Hopefully we can get David up here. I want to talk to that boy and see what that lucky leprechaun did. I'm almost positive he would have double stinted those tires. So if Big Al can arrange it, we will get your race winner, David Canavan, up. Some great racing tonight. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching the show. It's nice to be broadcasting to somebody that's watching. We don't get too many viewers here. Hopefully we can get some more people to come on out and watch. You're watching NAGP GT1 Racing Thursday night. We're racing 3 nights a week. We're racing Mondays, Thursdays, Saturdays. Grab a wheel. Get in touch with one of the administrators. Come on out. Hey, who have we got? Is this the race winner, David Canavan? David, you out there? Well, it doesn't look like we've got David. Hopefully we can grab him up here just for a quick chat. I sure would like to get on tape his thoughts on that last lap. But that crazy... Hey, David, how are you? David, how are you?
Not too bad, Jack. How are you?
Great. Hey, did you double stint your tires, David?
No, did I book? Just get on the fuel. Never got behind mud at first time, but sort of looked after the fuel a bit.
Boy, it sure looked like you were struggling the last couple of laps. What was going on there?
No, I wasn't struggling. The car felt great. It's just, that thing as it was dropping away off, like, so just thought, right, I'll let him, if he's dropping off, there's no point pushing it.
Well, you had me concerned there. I saw you get into the kitty litter a couple of times on the last lap there, and I wondered, I was a little concerned, but you drove a great race.
I must have been lagging. Ah, Jesus. No, because I didn't go in the gravel or anything.
Well, we sure did. I was really concerned. At that point, I thought, boy, you must have double stinted your tires and had nothing left at the end. But that was a great drive, David.
Thank you, Jack. Thanks very much.
Now, did you have much trouble with getting around some of those lap cars?
No trouble, just catch them at really bad spots and just, but there's nothing they can do with that, but no, I don't feel like I had a flash to lights or anything, or junk like that, like they were all pretty clean to me.
Well, that's good. Some of your race competitors had a bit of trouble there, and I'm sure the CC committee is going to have a look at that, but congratulations on your win.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you very much.
You could have done that, but I had my big money on you the other week. I don't know what happened, but I didn't want to risk it again. Boy, oh boy, Sportelli sure dropped off quick after that first incident he had, and I guess that opened the door for you.
He jumped the start, and then Moses had a few offs. I think his steering wheels playing up. Rich got I think Lou Masquerade, so I took Richard to the first turn trying to recover from a spin. Yeah, I think Muddy's tyres just fell off towards the end of the first stint.
Well, it was a great race to watch you run. You put on another clinic for all the rest of us NAGP drivers to aspire to.
Thank you very much, Jake. Thanks for the excellent broadcast as usual.
Well, we don't know how excellent that is, but it's the only one you've got, David, so you're going to have to live with it. This is Jack Ivey with David Canavan, your race winner for GT1 Thursday night in Spain. Thanks, David. Glad to have you up in the booth.
Thank you, Jack.
And we will catch you guys all next week on Thursday. For NAGP TV, this is Jack Ivey and David Canavan. Have a good evening, folks.
Signing out. Good night, Seattle.